Hello and welcome to the Alconbury Weald Residents Forum for May 2022. My name's Natalie, I'm Community Development for Alconbury Weald. Today we're going to have an update from Rachel on developments within Alconbury Weald, and then we will have Encore, Duncan from Encore, giving his update.
Hi, I'm Rachel Arnold and I work with the Alconbury Weald team on our communications and communities work supporting Natalie. Phase 1 of Alconbury Weald is progressing well, and the coloured areas on this map indicate the housing parcels within Phase 1. So focusing on Section C in red, Campbell, Buchanan George have begun work in delivering 62 new homes, with their marketing suite due to open very soon. Campbell, Buchanan George are a fairly local house builder. This is the first time we've worked with them at Alconbury Weald, and we're looking forward to seeing their product come out of the ground very soon. Section H in green is Carla Homes, and they'll be joining Alconbury Weald to deliver 260 homes next to the Crest Nicholson parcel in blue. Section J in the turquoise colour is Redrow, and they're expanding their reach across Senlis Road to deliver a further 245 homes, and they have already started on site with a show home opening soon. And Section K in orange is Morris, and they'll be delivering another 206 homes in addition to their existing parcel in the area further north of their current parcel, and they have already started on site with a show home opening soon. Education is a key priority at Alconbury Weald, and the new education campus at the heart of the next stage of development will include a secondary school, a special educational needs school, sports facilities and pitches, and other key facilities for the school and the community to use. And the education campus will be delivered in phases, with the first phase forming the secondary school, comprising 4 forms of entry for up to 600 pupils. It will also include indoor sports facilities, hard landscaped playing fields and playing courts, and alongside that, a 150 pupil special educational needs school. So the secondary school will be run by the Diocese of Ely Multi-Academy Trust, or DMAT for short, who currently run Ermine Street Church Academy, and the secondary school will be called Alconbury Weald Church Academy. Future phases of the Education Centre will deliver the remaining parts of the secondary school, including 4 further forms, to create an 8-form entry secondary school for up to 1,200 pupils. It will then look to include an expansion to the special educational needs school to provide a specialist autism accommodation unit for adults and children. And the special educational needs school will form part of the growing Horizons Education Trust, and it will also be named Prestley Wood Academy. Future plans for the education campus also include a 6th form college, and land has been set aside for that, and we look forward to updating you as those plans progress. The first section of Garland Park opened in 2020 and goes from Ermine Street Church Academy to the northern boundary of Hopkins Homes. And we are currently working to deliver Phase 2, which runs through the middle of Morris Homes to provide landscaped spaces for relaxing and playing, set within a community orchard. And we are currently working towards planting 24 apple trees, one of which is the local species of the Huntingdon codlins. There will also be a timber log seating area and some picnic tables, an informal play trail surrounded by green space, and an open grass area with a large feature tree. So Phase 2 is due to open this summer alongside the opening of Senlis Road. The reason that has remained closed up until now is because it is an important access road for Morris to deliver their parcel and also for us to complete Garland Park. So works have been completed to remove the concrete from the former taxiway and to landscape the area. And we have completed bringing in the new soil for the formation of the new path. So that path will form a pedestrian and cyclist route through the park and eventually link that area to the Glade. Phase 3 will be the final section of Garland Park, which will connect Phase 2 up to the Glade, and plans for that are to complete in autumn-winter 2025. At our last resident forum, we gave an update on the plans to open up a link route, which at the time we named as Owl End Link Route. And since then, after much discussion, we have renamed the route to the Prestley Wood Link Route, and I will explain a little bit why as to why that is the case. So the new route links to Prestley Wood, connecting to public rights of way in the Stukelys and Abbots Ripton. And Prestley Wood, for those who don't know, is an ancient monument which will form part of the future country park in future phases of Alconbury Weald. So we are working at getting planning permission for tree planting along the landscaped route. But for now, the route is open, the path is formed, and we have put up adequate fencing along the route to ensure safety for people walking along the route alongside what is essentially a live construction site. So you will notice when using the routes that we have put up some signs to remind dog owners to keep dogs on leads where possible. This is a recommendation from us whilst we are ensuring that all of the fence is gap free, again considering that there is a live construction site on the other side of the fence. So we've also placed an order for some benches for some seating along the route, along with some dog bins, and we are working at issuing a map of the route soon so that hopefully you can enjoy the new route in the summer months. The route has been tried and tested by the Alconbury Weald walking group that Natalie leads every Monday. And we're just figuring out the exact length, but we're looking at 7.5 kilometre loop if you were to go all the way around through to the Stukeleys and Abbots Ripton. The Glade will be the first local centre for Alconbury Weald and will bring forward a co-op convenience store, as well as a second nursery and some flexible retail units. Following planning consent for the Glade at the end of last year, we've been working really hard with the co-op to progress contractual conversations with them, and we are very hopeful that contracts will be signed this week. We understand that it's been a bit of a wait to this point, and we are a little bit behind schedule in terms of getting that contract signed and beginning construction. But we are hopeful to get this wrapped up by the end of the month at the very latest, with a view to beginning construction pretty much straight away after those contracts are signed. So the construction of the convenience store, the nursery and the public square will be within the first phase of the Glade, followed by some retail units shortly afterwards. And we continue to work with the community and local commercial partners to understand how we will fill those retail units. And we have been approached by a number of residents at Alconbury Weald who've expressed interest in the use of those retail units. So we will continue to keep you updated on those conversations as they progress. So following construction of the convenience store and a fit-out process, we anticipate that the co-op will take over and open its doors in early to mid-2023. So the public square within the Glade will enable pop-up events and markets, which we know are a popular request from residents following a consultation last year to understand how that space could be used. Also, with the inclusion of a bike hub to enable bike hire and safe storage to cycle to and from the area, and linking up the residential area and the businesses to the Glade more easily. We have begun work to deliver the Southern Link Road, which will connect the development directly to the A141 and Huntingdon and enable wider access to the future rail station when that's brought forward. So it will also provide Alconbury Weald residents with purpose-built cycle and walking routes and make for a much quicker bus connection into town. And routes from the Southern Gateway have been designed to support the delivery of a future rail station. And as we work alongside the Combined Authority, local councils and Network Rail, as well as the Department for Transport and Homes England, to understand how that train station may look, and an additional station on the East Coast Main Line to create much better transport links for those living at Alconbury Weald. So it's not a quick and easy process, but as always, if anything progresses with the future train station, we will certainly let you know. But the Southern Link Road in the meantime will be rolled out in phases, and this map indicates part A, B and C of the Link Road, and we are using lots of the repurposed material from the former runway and taxiway to create the hard standing for the new road. So the Southern Link Road will allow easier access to future phases of Alconbury Weald, and on this map you will see phases 1, 2 and 3. So within phase 2, which you may hear us refer to as Grange Farm, it is the Grange Farm area of phase 2 and the future country park, and it will include new homes, a primary school and more community facilities and sports pitches. So we continue to work closely with partners to appoint a partner to help us deliver and maintain the future country park. And as always, we are keen to include the community in what we'll be bringing forward in the country park. So we will be inviting your input into the more detailed design of the country park as things move forward. Phase 3 of Alconbury Weald will see the delivery of 2,000 homes, the next phase of the Enterprise Campus, the Cold War Heritage Area, and a significant new area of parkland along the old runway. It will also see Alconbury Weald's central hub or town centre come forward, which will include a health centre, further sports facilities, a library, and more shops and cafes. So the Urban and Civic team have been busy working on designs for Phase 3, and many of you came along to the consultation events in December to help us shape the plans for Phase 3. And we have submitted a definition statement to Hunts District Council, setting out the elements of Phase 3 before we submit a more detailed proposal later on this year. So we will certainly keep you up to date on those more detailed designs and continue to keep you engaged with Phase 3 and what that may look like. The new bus service for Alconbury Weald, the AW1, connects the development to Alconbury Weston, Alconbury Village, the Stukelys and Huntingdon. It's being really well used, so it's fantastic to see since it launched in January. And we have now received our low carbon vehicle as well, which you would have seen hurtling up and down the boulevard. So buses from the boulevard take less than 15 minutes to the train station. So it's a really fantastic, efficient service. You can plan your journey to and from Alconbury Weald on the AW1 using travelline.co.uk, and that will also give you the timetable for the stagecoach service, the 904 as well. We will be making some tweaks to the timetable for the bus just to align with some changes to departure train times at Huntingdon Rail Station. And you may have noticed some development taking place outside Huntingdon Rail Station at the moment, which means the bus stop is currently across the road from the train station, but that is all due to change very soon. And we will be able to issue a timetable for the bus once that is all confirmed with the train station. And lastly from me, on the subject of sustainable travel, alongside the launch of the AW1 Bus Service, we have recently worked on an initiative alongside our sustainable travel plan coordinators to help combat air pollution, improve air quality around the school, reduce congestion and increase pupils' physical and activity through walking, cycling and improving their health and well-being at Ermine Street Church Academy. So the Yeah to Clean Air initiative currently has 154 families signed up, which is just excellent. And they are involved in scanning their unique card or fob at one of the special scanning points and selecting the active journey choice they made to school that day. So all of the journeys then get converted into points, and those points are awarded to the school as prizes, such as family days out and cinema vouchers. So it's been wonderful to see so many families taking part and changing the way that they get to and from school. And Buster, the Carbon Buster dog that you saw on the first slide, was there on the day to help launch the scheme. So we're really looking forward to updating you on how the scheme goes and how many prizes are won by the school for making smarter choices for their journeys to school.
Thank you, Rachel, for that. So we're going to do now a community update. We've got the new weekly schedule that will actually be posted from now on the Facebook Alconbury Weald Living page. We've also got the year ahead calendar with lots of exciting things, so you can put some dates in your diary. So we're very excited to have the Jubilee Summer Saturday coming up on the 4th of June. This event will be from 2 till 4 on the Watch Office Green. There'll be a swing band, a bit Michael Bublé-esque. Scouts will be doing themed games. There'll be stalls and fun activities for all. There'll also be a free raffle. We're going to be having a competition on the day. There'll be best dressed adult, so either fancy dress or your fanciest dress. I will be in a fancy dress. Best dressed child, little princesses, superheroes, monsters, whatever you think is appropriate. And the best laid picnic on the floor or picnic table. Should be a really lovely day. I'm crossing my fingers for the sun to shine. This has been done with the Community Association, and hopefully it'll be a really good community event. And then on the Sunday, June the 5th, we've got open gardens. We've got 9 gardens for you to visit. as well as the school, the new school allotments, which have been renovated by volunteers. It'd be lovely to be able to go and have a look round all the different gardens within Alconbury Weald, all the different types. There are a few who are well established, have been here for several years, and also some beginner gardens. The 25th of June is the activity day. Free sessions, free taster sessions for all the different activities that are happening in the pavilion at the moment. So the walking group meet every Monday at 12:30 outside Swinford stores. We had a very long walk this week. We did 5.4 kilometres, but we don't normally go as far as that. As you can see, we went all the way to Prestley Wood that you can now visit. But normally we don't go as far as that, and we try to keep it within the hour so that if you're on your lunch break, you'll get back to your desk in time. The Buggy Walk are now meeting weekly, and they've got a new location start place outside Bohemia, and it also means you can pop back in there when you're finished. Back at the end of April, I went into the Ermine Street Church Academy and had a youth consultation with a class of Year 6 pupils. We were looking at the existing parks and what they'd like to see in the future. It was really interesting to hear their views on what they really, really like. Obviously, they love our parks, but the items of equipment that they really like, and also what they'd like to see in future. High on their list were zip lines and climbing frames. I think the zip line will have to wait until we've got a slightly larger area. I think when we do Runway Park, we'll look at it then. But all those details have actually been fed back to the master planners, ready for Key Phase 3. I'm very excited to announce the youth group. We have a kick-off event on the 28th of May from 2 till 4 p.m, and that will be very much a consultation event to see what sort of interest we have, what activities the children would like to do or the young adults would like to do, and also looking for volunteers to help on the Friday nights. It will run on the second Friday of every month. The first session will be the 10th of June. So it's Key Stage 2 from 6 till 7, and then Key Stage 3 from 7:30 till 8:30. Everyone very much welcome for that first kick-off event, and we'll see it and we'll be able to gauge interest. I am delighted to say that the first cricket match of the season has taken place outside the pavilion on Tuesday night. It was absolutely fabulous to see. It was beautiful weather, lots and lots of people around. Lots of people came to sit and watch. So this year there's junior games, and then next year there will be adult games, all new, and they're looking for new members. So if anyone would like to take up a bit of cricket, then you're very welcome. The library in the club continues to be open Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. Please just come in. You can borrow books on an honesty basis, so there's no need to have a library card. Just turn up and borrow if you'd like to, and there's a book in the corner to write down what you've borrowed. Second Friday of every month is Rhyme Time, which is a toddler singing group at 10 o'clock, and then the coffee morning at 11 o'clock. Everybody welcome. Over to Duncan now for an update from Encore.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Duncan Johnson. I'm an Associate Director at Encore Estate Management, and as many of you will know, the Estate Manager for Alconbury Weald is Tracy Davies. This presentation has been split into two parts. Firstly, we're going to look at landscape management, which is obviously a key part of the development, and then after that we're going to look at the management company for the benefit of the new residents who may have just moved into the development. Landscaping is an integral part of the development. It's something that the vast majority of people see every day as they come in and out of the development, and we wanted to touch on how the areas are designed, how they're implemented, and how they're managed. So the landscaping itself is designed around the local authority planning department because they have various ecology and biodiversity aims. By planting the different areas in different ways, for example amenity grass or wildflower or woodlands, they aim to meet these targets. The landscape contractor then plants the communal areas as per the design, and then once they're installed, the areas are then put under set maintenance regimes. Each regime is bespoke to the type of planting. Once the areas have been handed over to Encore, we will then continue to work with the landscape contractor to ensure they're looked after in line with that maintenance plan. And each month, the landscape contractor reports back to Encore on the progress of those tasks. Some of the overall aims that the local authority are looking to achieve have been listed in the Green Infrastructure Landscape Plan. For example, to ensure that the landscape develops in a manner commensurate with the original design. So the idea is that what we plant will be here for the long term, and it will continue to develop in a way that the public can use, and it will continue to maintain and reach those goals. It's going to be established successfully. It's going to be here for the long term, and it's going to be flexible. Because as we know, landscaping will change over time, planting will change and things will grow, and therefore the areas and the management of those areas need to be able to be flexible too. This graphic shows here that different kinds of landscaping are split up into different zones. Colour coordinated here, obviously it makes it a little bit easier for everyone to see, but this plan actually exists for the entire of phase 1 that we have so far. I've picked off some of the key areas, so you can see that in green you have amenity grass. And one of the key items is that amenity grass is always mown every 7 to 10 days to keep it short and keep it a good appearance. The meadow grassland, however, which is the yellow areas, are only cut in the autumn after they've flowered. The aquatic and marginal planting, which is pink and located around the ponds, they are managed throughout March to November. And the ornamental and shrub planting, which is also a slightly different dark pink here, is actually weeded regularly, and each of the plants are pruned in line with good horticultural practice for those specific plants. On a monthly basis, the landscape contractor sends a summary email to Tracy, the estate manager, and some of the areas that we've highlighted here are some of the tasks that they go through. So for example, trees, there's many trees around the development. Where they've got stakes, they are checked and adjusted where needed. We've also highlighted that the tree survey works have been completed, and this includes cutting out some of the dead trees and mulching some of the pines. If we look to hedgerow planting, you can see that hedges have been trimmed, and firming up of those hedgerow plantings, especially the new ones, will take place as needed, and litter is removed from the hedge lines. There are more than these 4 topics that are sent over to Tracy, but we thought this was a useful update because it's an extensive part of the reporting, and as well as Tracy meeting the landscapers on the development, it's useful to have these monthly updates. The second part of the slideshow talks for the benefit of the new residents who have recently moved in and just helps to recap how the development has been set up, who builds it and who looks after it. Urban and Civic have purchased the original development and they are known as the master developer. And we know from the plans that are being submitted that the extent of the development is far greater than we have so far, which is known as Key Phase 1. Urban and Civic then sell land parcels to different house builders, for example Carla or Redrow or Morris, who will then build and sell the homes. While they're doing that, Urban and Civic are responsible for developing the infrastructure, such as the schools, the roads, the verges, the play areas, the green space. Some of those areas will be handed over to local authority, and some will be staying managed by the management company. Now, there are various legal documents that come into play when people purchase the homes. So I wanted to run through the role of the management company, the TP1 and the estate management deed. So Urban and Civic has set up a management company, which we refer to as the Manco, called AW Management Company KPR1 Limited. Urban and Civic retain control of this company, and that company is responsible for looking after the common areas, so therefore the areas that are not purchased by homeowners. And they use the service charge funds to look after those areas. When you purchase a home, you sign a TP1 document, which is your home ownership document, which has been drafted by the house builder, but you also sign an EMD, an estate management deed. It's your responsibility to look after your home in line with the TP1, and it's the management company's responsibility to manage the common areas in line with the terms of the estate management deed. The estate management deed is essentially an agreement for property owners to pay a service charge in exchange for some preset services. The EMD sets out how the areas are supposed to be kept and the administration of how the development works. The schedules in the estate management deed also cover things like the definitions of the common parts, the services to be provided, and how the service charge works. It also offers some protection on rises for future service charges by setting out how the service charges are reviewed on an annual basis. And by signing the estate management deed, property owners agreed to abide by the covenants in there. These are the rules and regulations that people are supposed to adhere to when they live at the development, and they can affect things like solar panels, how they behave, how they drive, and items like that. As we discussed, the service charge is the money that is used for the upkeep and maintenance of the common areas. Currently, that is fixed at £296 per property, and that's until the 30th of September this year. There is an annual review which uses RPI as the basis of any increases, and that will continue until the 30th of September 2026. At that point, there is a key phase review, but it's set in the estate management deed that no rise can be greater than 20% over the previous year. Now, how the money is spent is obviously hugely important, and given the size of the site and the complexity, it's probably no surprise that nearly 2/3 of the money is actually spent on maintenance, the vast majority of which is landscaping. Approximately 20% is spent on insurances, and 15% is spent on professional fees. If we added all of the money together that we receive from the homeowners, it actually still isn't enough to meet the running costs of the development. Urban and Civic are actually committed to subsidising the rest. So currently, approximately 75% of the money that we receive from the residents covers the services, and Urban and Civic are topping it up by another 25%. Thank you for taking the time to read these slides, to listen to this presentation. If you have any questions or queries at all, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan, for that update. Thank you ever so much for watching, and if you have any questions, my details are on the screen now.